Lady, whereby some members of one of the taxi associations have actively prevented commuters from getting onto a bus that was organized by a specific company, Nedbank in this instance, from getting their workers to work in the absence of those taxis. So I know you spoke to Santaco earlier, and they said that they've told their members to stay away, issuing an appeal. Is that appeal enough though, Chriselda? Maybe we need to ask them again why that is happening, and seeing that it is within Soweto, will they go and diffuse the situation? Over to you, Chriselda.
Well, thank you very much, Sakina. Indeed, I am still with the spokesperson for Santaco here in Gauteng. In fact, let's pose those questions to him right now, because I had indicated to him, Mr. Mali, I'm going to ask you again, sir. A few moments ago, I know that you indicated you called for a peaceful march. My colleague Tabiso Sitole is not far from where we are, where we understand there are commuters who are being pulled out of taxis. Do you have any reports regarding this? My colleague is on the scene right now. Surely it can't just be enough to call for there to be a peacefulness, but clearly that is not happening.
Okay, thank you very much. If you can see, some of my colleagues are now starting to make calls. We are calling the people who are responsible at that area to say, let them stop what they are doing. We are having this a peaceful shutdown. I want to repeat, throughout the day, we don't want any casualties, we don't want any confrontations, we don't want any violence. What we are doing at the moment, we are making calls to make sure that those roads are open. They allow the people to use an alternative transport. You can see just behind us, here's a taxi coming loading the passengers.
But Mr. Mali, it's not fair. I've also been listening on the radio as well, and I think that's why my colleagues from the other radio stations are also calling you. It's because you've got taxis that are blocking the road. Even those in their private vehicles who are trying to get to work cannot get to work. It's unfair. I understand if you're going to strike as the taxi industry, and you have good enough reasons for that, as you say, but it cannot be a situation where everyone else is being inconvenienced.
Well, I want to reiterate to say we don't condone the disturbance or the blockade on the road. As I'm saying now, we are making calls quickly so that we can address those areas that are having problem in terms of the drivers who are doing whatever on the ground. But what we are saying, what we have said, we said we withdraw our services. We don't want our vehicles to be on the road. So we are making calls to make sure that we clean up those areas that are having challenges. Immediately when I become away from you now, I'm going to make calls quickly. We are having the leadership here with me. They are doing those calls. You saw him. He made a call now around to say, please open the roads. Don't disturb anybody.
All right, that is the call that's being made by Santaco Sakina since this morning. But clearly, as you could see, I also see some reports also coming from Pretoria, where there seem to be similar instances that are taking place. Our colleagues have that particular point of the strike itself covered. But from where I am at the moment, still massive lines. People are stranded. They have absolutely no idea how they're going to be able to get to work this morning. But the taxi industry says this must happen in order to show government that it's serious about getting assistance in addition to what it has put on the table.
Well, thanks so much, Chriselda Lewis, our reporter out at the Bara taxi rank in Soweto.